So you fancy touring the continent? Great, but don't be surprised if you find that the plumbing makes you want to keep your legs crossed and the grub isn't quite up to expectations. If you can't stomach such nasties, then I suggest an alternative venue, one of the last bastions of the British Empire, a not-so-remote island of 147 square miles, where they speak proper English like I does, and appreciate real food. The voyage to this corner of imperialism takes from 8 minutes to 1 hour, dependent upon the port of embarkation and whether you travel by steamship, hovercraft or something smaller. The first thing that visitors to the Isle of Wight will notice is the kamikaze behaviour of weekend sailors, some of whom boast that they haven't missed a ferry yet. Let's go ashore and explore. But first we'll let the Irish national team ride off into the wide blue yonder as they search for the Tour de France. Some wore crash helmets to prevent their brains from hurting. These lively youngsters were also looking for a piece of the action. Sorry, Fred, you won't find it here. You've come to the wrong Yarmouth, unless of course you fancy sailing. Perhaps Fred would fare better at the famous Needles. Impressive, eh? Oh well, suit yourself. There's always the adjoining Alum Bay, once a natural beauty spot, but now benefiting from the delights of commercialisation. Alum Bay is noted for its coloured sand cliffs, which in reality means there's some rusty looking sandstone which you are not allowed to gather in case it causes the whole island to collapse. However, the kindly locals will flog your scrapings, packed into a replica glass lighthouse, or perhaps a bell which can sit on your mantelpiece until you finally get sick of the damn thing. Mind you, there are organised gangs who smuggle it out in haversacks. If you want something bigger and better, then here's just the thing for you. But it'll cost. If Alum Bay leaves you glassy-eyed, then perhaps Shanklin is more your cup of tea. But be warned, this bustling, rather old-fashioned resort is choosy about who it allows in. Shanklin Chine first opened to the public in 1817. Prior to that, it was regularly used to illicitly bring duty-frees from the seashore to the old village. Nowadays, the Chine is famous for its flora and fauna, but unless wild rhubarb gives you orgasms, I don't reckon it as a turn-on. There's no doubt about it. In Shanklin, time stands still. In the centre of the island lies Carisbrooke Castle, which occupies 7 acres and affords some very pretty views of the surrounding countryside. The castle's main attraction is the donkeys, which work a 16th century wheel to raise water from the 161-foot deep well. The Isle of Wight Water Company is considering modernisation and might employ youngsters under the YTS scheme to walk the treadmill. It'll provide valuable work experience and it's cheaper. From one form of water to another. Yes, it's one of the blessings of holidaying in Britain. You can rely on the weather to help reduce the chances of getting skin cancer. No let up, and it's a lovely day for ducks, but we prefer to watch these ducklings in Flamingo Park being kept amused whilst they sheltered from the rain.
And all the time the queen was watching, she didn't know something. And then they tried to fix the wheel on again, the wheel. Very good. It was too difficult. And every time they tried to fix the wheel on, the horses began to wriggle and to kick. Said the Queen, this is no good, said the Queen. You'll have to have me helping. Queen had to go back into her coach and get the hammer out again. Go get your hammer. He gave the hammer to the coach and that, please. Girls. And he hammered it all in one hammer, please. Holly. All little hammering.
Well, they're 5 and 6-year-olds.
4 and 5.
4 and 5. Oh, they're not bad. Well.
When the weather's fine, Flamingo Park is well worth a visit. That is, if you like birds, and even more bloody birds. No movie can succeed without a bit of sex and violence. This is it. If nothing else, the duck had a sore head afterwards. One of the island's most photographed attractions is Winkle Street in the village of Calbourne. I gather that these pretty cottages are liable to be cold, damp and overpriced. Reminds me of a lady I used to know. Another attraction, Ventnor Botanical Gardens, once a site of the Royal National Hospital. Yet another closure to improve the National Health Service. You want to see more goldfish? You're going to anyway. This time at Butterfly World. Well, you'd expect to find them there, wouldn't you?
About 15 years old, those are the biggest ones in that other pool.
Oh, are they? They're not too old, are they?
No.
The amazing Black Gang Chine, another commercialised beauty spot where, amongst other things, the animals are forced to dress up and play silly buggers.
If you want to get back in there.
I've only shown a very small proportion of the island's attractions, but you'll be relieved to know that it's time to go. If you want to see more, then I'll lend you my 2 4-hour videotapes, or much better, why not take a trip just across the water? The water.